Did you had that issue when you fight the bosses and they do way too much damage to you? Like, you can't out-heal it and you just can't kill the bosses? Well, in this video, I will show you how to avoid this issue and be able to take out most of the bosses, if not any, but most of the bosses and most strong enemies, even in higher level areas, without significant issues. And you won't die that much. Sup guys, it's Kosh, and this is a boss fighting guide for Hero of Aethric. The first time you will encounter issues with the bosses will be when you will get, I think, to tier 5 to this area after the Sudden Desert and this Sudden Dunes. I think even right now I will have issues fighting those Griffins over there because those guys are very strong. So yes, the guys that are there, they have very powerful damage, and at this moment you are not getting those potions that fully heal you anymore. You are limited to the potions that are giving you only 250 HP, and the rest of those, the top potions, can be only dropped. You can't buy them at the shop. So what do? You need to change the tactics. Here are those annoying Griffins that I couldn't kill for the love of God forever. They're staying here forever. And in order to take them out, you need specific skills. And as you can see right now, if you use the skills right, you will be able to take him out without significant issues, with the right pet, with the right gear, and that kind of stuff. And bam, the poor Griffin is finally going down. So, let's talk about the different builds that are available for you to take out the bosses. Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 7 maybe, I'm not there yet, but it definitely helps you out a lot in the long run. So there are 3 options. So let's start with the first one. That's the build that we have right here. This is based on your summons and your skill set for putting the enemies out of the misery so they won't attack you. What do you need? For like the core abilities of this build will require you to get some classes here. So you would like to get the warrior class from the start. You can buy it later on, you don't really have to start as a warrior. And then get the paladin. Why? Because paladin, which is someone who should heal people, right? He has some really cool skills that we need here. So for the first build, you will need some specific skills available for you. Those are from the rogue, so you will need to buy the thief and then the rogue and get the sleep dart and stun dart abilities. Those will help you out. Exploit will be good as well, and they will be your base damaging abilities, crowd controlling abilities, let's be clear about that, for yourself. Then depending on your tier, you can go for other things, but those will be essential for you early on at like tier 5, tier 6, and so on. As for the class later on, since you'll be using mostly your pet, using someone like Dragoon, who will increase the followers' attack frequency, will be really good. For tier 6, I went with the Blade Master because I kinda wanna keep playing as rogue, but if you are going for the summon build altogether, you might wanna go for Arc Druid and Druid early on. So you will be able to do that healing spells. Where is it? This one, Wisps Heal, so it's a good healing spell. But another option is taking Dragon Knight at 7 stars. That will allow you to get Valhallian Way again. That will do more damage to the enemies by your pet. So, you can adjust this build quite a lot. I will tell you only the core things that will help you against the boss, because my build isn't perfect. Let me get it straight. It's not perfect, but it works flawlessly. So what did I do? I picked the skills that are really nice for keeping enemy at bay. So you need Sleep Dart. That's the core spell for you because it have really high chance of success, and if the enemy is sleeping, they have 100% chance of not doing anything, unlike under the standard or with the smoke bomb. So that's a guaranteed way to put out enemy out of the fight. Then you will need a standard and the smoke bomb, because standard and smoke bomb will help you to prevent the areas where the enemy attacks you when they have run out of sleep debuff and you didn't apply it on the next turn. So they can do attack on you, and if you are facing really powerful enemies, you can be one-shotted there. That will prevent you from being one-shotted because standard have, I think it's about 50% chance to prevent enemy from acting, and smoke bomb will lower his accuracy. And if you're playing as a rogue character, you should have some dexterity for you. Moreover, we have the wyvern speed here that increases your dexterity as well, and those things together help your survivability. Another thing you might want to place here is some healing spell that I don't have right now, so I'm using potions. But some good healing spell, like the one I told you about before, with a good healing would be nice. Like Druid's Wisp Heal, because it will cure the statuses, it will recover HP, and for Arc Druid it's even better. So something that will support you. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can survive that because I can. Next, I would like to put some damage over time effects. So we have poison here. If you have burn, if you have blight and other stuff that kind of damage enemy over time, you can add them here for more DPS. If not, you can use something like Exploit, the spell that will allow you to debuff the enemy. So Exploit here decreases the opponent's physical defense, and that allows your pet to do more damage to the enemy. And after those skills, I have Dragon's Vengeance as my most powerful attack spell when I just wanna go through weaker enemies and, you know, plow through them instead of trying the slow way and safe way. You can disregard it completely if you are not in a hurry. You can change this spell for anything else. Maybe some more buffs for your defense. So something like a barrier will do that will allow you to get more defensive. So yeah, some spells that will allow you to survive enemies, maybe to avoid the damage, that kind of stuff. So those things are important. And another important thing though, really important, is getting the right follower. So let's go to my village and I will show you the list of the followers available. So guys, we're talking about tier 4, 5 and 6 right now, maybe tier 7 as well. I'm not there yet, so I can't advise on the higher difficulty too much, but for early game, you would like something like Living Weapon. Living Hammer is the best one for 4 tier because they attack really frequently and that will be a good source of your DPS, so you can get that. If you don't have it here, I mean, if you don't have it available, you can buy anyone. But yeah, for tier 4, that one was the best option for me. So there we go, we got a Living Sword in my home that I used beforehand as my follower, as my pet, that was doing pretty good damage at tier 4. At tier 5 though, I tried different pets and none of those were really good, so I went with the Living Sword again, but you can try to find someone good. I think the good pet that was recommended for 5 stars for tier 5 was some great gnome or something, but I can't find him here, but yeah, and I'm too lazy to go around to find him. For tier 6 though, there are 2 pets that I can recommend you. First one is Basilisk. I have this guy and oh my god, he's doing crazy damage. I love him, so that's a really good damage dealing pet. Or you can go for Orthus, the one that will kinda have some protection chance. So there is some chance that he will be defensive and he have huge amount of attacks, and the chance for each of those attack and spells is 10%, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a good chance to attack an enemy, let's put it like that. But what I like about the Basilisk is that he can also apply the poison, and that will allow you to do more damage over time to the enemy. And why do you need a strong pet? Because the bosses, they don't wake up, they don't break their sleep if they've been attacked by your pet. If you will attack the enemy, it will break their sleep, I think 100%, I'm not sure, but very likely. But pet will never break the enemy's sleep, and that's how you can exploit this. So let's go and try it on the boss. So there we go, guys, we got the Berserk boss right here, this guy, and I will take him out for you. That will be crazy, but it will work. And that Berserk Ronin will take us out in one shot if we won't be careful. So what do? When the fight starts, you go to spell, you use Sleep Dart, and you pray that it works. The enemy is asleep, nice. Since this guy is very powerful, then you use the Stun Dart. That way, if the sleep will go out, he will have chance to be stunned. And after that, you use the Smoke Bomb on the enemy. That will allow him, if he will skip all those 2 checks, attack you, but have higher chance of missing it. So let's apply the Smoke Bomb on the enemy. He is resisting it really a lot. The stun is off. There we go, he's blind now. He awakened now, but he have blind, and now we're applying Sleep Dart again. There we go, it worked. And going for which one right now? Stun Dart. Let's go. When all 3 things are applied, you can either replenish your mana or health, or use the debuffs, or use buffs for yourself. Right now I will use an exploit, so we'll do more damage to the boss. Exploit, there we go, he have lower defense. And now, since we are we don't want to run out of mana. Let me get it straight. So we will use the mana potion, the cheap one, this one. Bam. There we go. And you keep going like that and try to keep up all 3 debuffs on the enemy, and when you have extra time you can buff yourself. Don't use the normal attacks, because then he will attack you back and you will break the sleep, so that will be really bad. Let's sleep him, there we go, nice. And the blind poison, we need to stun him. There we go. And since your pet is doing physical attack from time to time, you want to use that exploit or any other debuffs that you can put on the enemy. Did the wrong spell. Alright. Let's put the smoke bomb instead. And another thing you might want to get are the buffs for your dexterity, because that will allow you to have a higher evade chance. And that way, if the enemy will still attack you, you won't be one-shotted. There is a higher chance that you won't be one-shotted. Let's stun him. So we already passed half of his health. And just like that, we'll be going through the entire fight, using the potions when needed to recover our mana and health. Some bosses, most bosses won't one-shot you. There we go, he buffed himself, look at that. I think I did the wrong thing there because I was talking with you guys. And yeah, now with his attack buff, if he will attack us, we will die. So yeah, just try to put sleep at all times. That's the most essential thing. All other debuffs are secondary, but they will help. So there we go, the boss is at 400 health, so he's definitely going down. Now if you are so bold, you can use your normal attack and do 0 damage to him. Oh my god, that was hilarious. But yeah, the boss is down, and we got the rewards, and we managed to kill Berserk boss. Not the normal one, but Berserk. That's actually pretty cool. So just like that, you can take out any boss that is not resistant to all those effects. There are some that are resistant to some of those, like Griffin is resistant to sleep, for example, so you need to use stun and smoke bomb on him. But other than that, that's the basic technique that you can use against the bosses, against the powerful mobs. So for example, like some enemies here in this area, I just entered this area recently, and some mobs here can basically two-shot me, and I can use the same tactics on the normal mobs. Same you can use in the dungeon, but dungeon is a little bit different. I'll make a different guide for it later on. For the PvP, you can stun lock enemy in the PvP as well and let your pet do the job. That kind of stuff. So that's a really unique and cool way of taking out the bosses. Now let's move on to the second way, overpowering your opponent. I can't really show it right now because my build isn't ready for this, but at this boss we might be able to do this. So what do? When you fight an enemy? You just go for the full DPS, use your strongest attack and go all in, and hope that you will do enough damage to the boss before they will do damage to us. Just go crazy, go with your strongest attacks and pray for the damage that will outlast the enemy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, and you can always, if you die, you can reset and come back to fight the enemy again. So far, at this witch, it works, because she doesn't do that many attacks on us. She's trying to buff herself, and we are trying to attack her before she will use her aggressive spells on us. Otherwise, we will go down. There we go, almost done. Look at that, she went with attack right now, and we managed to win this just last second save right here. That was the second option. Now for the third option, which is way harder in my opinion, you need quite a lot of defense, quite a lot of resilience, resistance. All the stats should be good for you. So when you start the fight with the boss, you would like to even the odds by buffing yourself. So you go with, we have Wyvern Speed here, but Barrier will be good, that will increase your defense, buffing your attack and all that. When the enemy attacks you, you just use a healing spell or potion, so you out-heal yourself. Where are the healing potions here? There we go. And you try to fight the enemy like that. Use all your skills available. We got powerful pet, so we are lucky because of that, but we still can die pretty easily here. So yeah, I can't show it to you right now because my build doesn't work. As you can see, even tier 5 boss takes me out in 3 shots, so those guys are dangerous and it's way safer to take them out with a sleep bomb instead. But, oh, he missed. He missed. Nice. And we managed to take him out barely. But yeah, the idea of the third build is get the best gear possible, upgrade it, and get the stats to fight enemy boss properly without overpowering them and exploiting mechanics. This is more safe and fun way, but it's way slower, and if you want to progress fast, I advise you guys to go with the first or the second option. You can even go hunt the lower tier bosses instead of higher tier bosses, and that will help you out. Moreover, there is a small tip for you guys here, for everyone who managed to watch till the end. If you have the bosses that you really hate, like this dragon over here, the Griffin, we can't take him out forever. He will take us out no problem. And I got the moment when all the bosses were unbeatable in this area. You would like to change the instance. In order to do that, you have to find a friend of yours, any of them. You can ask someone with the friendship to change the instance. You can ask someone powerful like this guy over here. He can come to my instance, clear the bosses for me, and they will respawn. But the easiest way for me was to create an alt. And when you invite your alt to the party, yes, after they will get invited, the instance will change. So let's wait a little bit. And we will get a different set of enemies and bosses in the area. Come on, it's time to change already. There are two ways: you can wait or you can leave the game and go back. But there we go. The instance changed, we got different enemies, and we got Griffin again, alright. And the fun thing that you can leave instance to go back to your main area, disband party and go to your own instance, and then start that new instance with the same guy, with the same friend, and you will get another random instance. So you won't be stuck to this one where we have this Eye and Griffin, for example. You can get the new one. So that's how you can actually go through the instances, looking for the proper area where you can fight the proper boss if you have difficulties or like something is wrong with your main home instance. So that's additional tip for you. If you need tip how to create an alt and do all that reset, I might actually make a separate guide, because this one I think it's all long already. If you need help creating an alt, it's pretty easy. You go to the main menu, yes, leave, go to the title menu, okay, here you create a new game. You put all that stuff like new character, blah blah blah. Then with that new character you add your main character, you type my main name over here, you send ally request, bam, then you leave, you enter as your main character. Here in the notifications over here, you will get the, come on, over here, you will get the party request right here, you say okay, and then you will get that new ally here in the list. Oh my god, so many things to close, there we go. And you can just exploit it as much as you want. Easy. So yeah guys, let me know if you have extra tips for fighting the bosses and if you have tips for the higher tier bosses, because I will need them soon, I guess. Probably we will have to replace the sleep dart with something more powerful, higher tier stun effect. But I think that tactics works for the long term. Other than that guys, let me know in the comments what do you think about this guide, if it helped you out or not. And if you want extra guides on the Hero of Aethric, let me know as well, I will create them for you. And yeah, check the video description for the playlist of Hero of Aethric for more videos. There is a link tree with my other YouTube channels, social media and Discord. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and thank you very much for watching. That's about it for now. Stay and Kosh out. Have a good one.